This is Poppy. Pretty sure Poppy is about to give birth. As you can see, the vulva is slightly open at the back. And she's pushing a little. She's clearly uncomfortable. It's a beautiful day today. There's no wind, or very little wind. Poppy is a second-time mum. Up until now, there's been more or less no signs that she's going to birth. I haven't noticed unusual amounts of visits to the poo pile, but clearly we have something going on now, and I will try and capture it on video for you. What I would like to see at this time is to get a nose and 2 feet. That's the normal presentation for a cria, baby alpaca. I can certainly see something going on there. In fact, I can actually hear snuffles from the baby. So we've definitely got a nose. Oops, can't look at mum and look at baby at the same time. And we have a foot and we have 2 feet. So we have a completely normal presentation. 2 feet, 1 nose. Nose is still just inside mum. We'd expect the mum to walk around quite a bit at this time. She's very used to me. She won't be bothered by me being here filming her at all. Poppy was born and bred on this farm. And we'd expect, once we've got the feet and the nose out, that the baby would hang down for a bit. That lets the upper respiratory tract, the nose, the mouth, drain of any fluids that may have got in there during the birth process. I've already heard the baby making breathing noises, so I will be just keeping watch just to make sure that the sac is clear of its mouth and nose, but I'm expecting that from what I've already seen. Poppy's taking all this quite calmly. Alpaca births are the most amazing things. The mums just seem to walk around with half a baby hanging out, not bothered by it at all. She may even stop for a bit and go off and have a graze. This is the 22nd baby born on the farm this year. It's going to have a name beginning with X. That's really going to tax me. It's times like this when I'm really glad I'm not an alpaca mum. Our babies have been coming out at about 8 or 9 kilos this year. The biggest one was actually just over 11. That's a really large baby. Poppy, although she's very tall, she does have very long legs, isn't a huge mum. She's about an 80 kilo mum. We do have a couple that are more than that. Yeah, you can see the 2 feet, and there's just a tip of a nose. Waiting for her to push that out. At the moment, the other alpacas are not particularly interested. You would never separate a birthing alpaca from a herd unless it was completely unavoidable. Always, if you do have to get them in, make sure there's at least one companion with them. An alpaca on its own will feel very, very stressed and be at risk of predators. As soon as the rest of the herd realise what's going on here, I think we can expect them to come up and have a look. They're very protective of the mum and the newborn. They'll all be doing the predator watch for her. As an alpaca owner, I'm watching for the birth to keep going smoothly, keep progressing. At this stage, everything's looking good. I'm certainly not thinking I want to intervene. It's a lively baby. birth normally takes around 15 or 20 minutes. We're just waiting for Mum to push, and then hopefully we'll have a whole head. Mum's looking very chilled about it. Just lying down, slightly different position to push from. Getting a bit more leg. As I say, I can still see the nose just tucked in there. Generally, alpacas have their babies stood up. So I'll expect her to stand up again as she goes through the birth. Just see that nose above those feet. Too early to tell what colour it is yet. Just going to go a bit closer. You can see the baby's breathing. Alpaca births are quite different from a lot of other animals. Because the baby has such a long neck, the mum will actually, the baby's body will still be inside the uterus once the head's born. That means that the umbilical cord is still connected and working. So there's less urgency in a normal birth to try and force the baby out quickly. It's much better to let it have the hanging down bit, just to let the fluids drain. This is where I'm so glad I'm not an alpaca. So it's a hot day here. Luckily we don't have too many flies, but I can still see some flies on her. I don't think I'd like that if I was an alpaca. This is Kingsman, just getting in the way. Kingsman's about 8 weeks old. Go on then, Mum, give a push. The most difficult thing as an alpaca owner is to stand back and let the birth progress normally. She doesn't need any help if it's progressing as you would expect it to. And the most likely cause of harm at this point, that's Kingsman just having a little look. Poppy's telling him to go away. Most likely way an alpaca owner could cause harm at this point is to pull it out when the mum's still not fully dilated, and the risk then is that the cervix actually tears and does mum a serious injury. So there's Poppy just watching the world go by. Kingsman, the cria, just having a look. I can actually see the baby moving its head. And mum's just had a little graze. It's quite a lively cria. Excuse me, Kingsman, you're a bit in the way. You can now see the sac is clear of the nose. And she's pushing hard. Another cria Lucinda's now having a look. I'm so glad I'm not an alpaca. Can you imagine giving birth with an audience? I film this. I train people in how to care for alpacas, including birthing, and a video of a normal birth is really helpful for people. So Poppy, I'm not expecting a particularly difficult birth here. Lucinda checking it out. There's Mum giving another push. All this time Mum's probably still dilating. The cervix dilates gradually through the birth, and the widest part of the cria is the shoulders, so we've got to get the neck and the head out first before we get to the shoulders. Poppy'd probably rather that cria just left her alone. That's Kingsman. Lucinda checking her out. I think she's less bothered by me being here than by the crias having a pokey in their nose. Go on then, Mum, give another push. Quite an odd situation for an alpaca. Imagine if that was you. The other alpacas are just all grazing around. Not concerned at all at the moment. Come on, Mum. Come on, Poppy. Push. Push. Once that head's out, you'll feel so much more comfortable. And one more good push will do it. Oh, come on, Mum. It's always so hard just to stand back and let a birth happen. You really want to get involved. So we've now got the head, we've got the two front legs. So we'll now expect to see a bit more neck. And then she'll push out the shoulders. The umbilical cord usually breaks on its own. Any minute now we're going to see the ears. And it won't be long before the others recognise something odd is going on over here. It's best with an alpaca if you can just let it birth naturally, not intervene unless it really needs it. And this birth's going perfectly fine. Doesn't need me at all. I am here ready to intervene should I need to. As you can see, Mum's just wandering around. She's not particularly bothered at this bizarre thing shaking its head at the back. Mum's resting at this point, letting the cervix dilate. Once she's fully dilated, she'll then push the rest of the baby out. This is a normal birth. There's no reason to intervene. To intervene could actually cause harm to the baby because it doesn't have time to drain the fluids out of its mouth, nose and upper respiratory tract. And actually, if you look at Mum, she may even just be having a little top up on some grass there. And also harmful to Mum, because if you tear Mum, it could even be life-threatening. Poppy's really used to me being close to her. We bred her. She's not going to be distressed by me. As you can see, she's just walking around. That's normal. She's not trying to get away. Alpacas that are frightened run. She's just, I think, having a little bit of breakfast with this bizarre thing at the back. It's a cria. Baby alpaca is a cria. So Mum's going to lie down. As I say, just having a little rest. Cria's still at the back, wriggling away. She'll get up when she's ready. Just watching the birth progressing. I'm observing the baby. It doesn't seem to be in any distress, so still no reason to intervene. Mum seems quite chilled about it all. Mums know best. Natural birth is best. I am ready to come in if necessary. Baby. Got a few flies on it. Go on then, Mum. As you can see here, little soft toe protectors to stop the baby damaging Mum as it comes out. Time to push then, girl. Come on. Come on. As I mentioned earlier, the umbilical cord's still providing oxygen to the baby. Until the neck's fully extended, the chest doesn't enter the birth canal. This looks most uncomfortable, but the mums seem to lie down without harming their babies in any way. Just trying to find the most comfortable position to birth. But normally they birth standing up because gravity then helps the birth. As you can see now, we've got the full length of front legs now, so the next bit to come is the shoulders. It's quite a hot day. It's up about, well, it's certainly well into the 20 degrees centigrade. I'm just going to lift her tail if she'll let me, so that you can have a look. There we are, there's the baby. Come on, girl, give us another push. it's been about 20 minutes from the first time I really was sure we were going to birth, she was going to birth today. I would expect her soon to now give the final pushes to push the rest of the baby out through the birth canal. But the baby doesn't seem to be in any distress, so I'm not rushing to go in. Must say, we don't normally have many flies here. I do prefer it when there aren't so many flies around. So there's our little baby. Come on then, Poppy. Give us a push. You can probably see the ears here. Come on then, Mum, push out. Mouth and nose are clear. Come on then, girl, give us a push. Right, I'm thinking we've been going 23 minutes now. I'm going to give Poppy a little bit of a help here. Unless she's going to do it all by herself. She's just getting up again. I'd like to see her pushing this baby out now. The baby's still lively and well. There we go. Mum's had a little bit of a rest. The bag we can see on the baby is just at this stage to take it off would just be cosmetic, no reason to remove it. We will clean the baby up once Mum's fully birthed it. There we go, she's pushing again now. So I'm looking, ideally the legs are just above the neck as this is here. And she's pushing hard. And now we want the birth to progress because this is where the baby's coming into the birth canal. So it's harder for the baby to breathe because the chest starts to get compressed. So we want to see Mum get this whole baby out now. That was a good push. Bit of neck, bit more neck. Watching for these shoulders. just about, well, we're 20 to 12. Most alpaca births happen during the course of the morning. Alpacas still birthing in the evening is more of a worry. So she's pushing, we're just on the shoulders. That's it, all going smoothly. Give us a big push, girl. There we are. So here comes the baby, the shoulders are out. Baby's now going to be breathing for itself. She'll let it fall to the ground. They don't harm themselves when they fall. It's quite a big baby, it's quite long. Bear in mind, Poppy's really long herself, really tall girl. Oh, come on, Poppy. Shall I help you just with the last bit? Come on then. There's our baby. Come on then. Now. There we are. There's our baby. Fully born. Rolling around, looking like some sort of alien. This is a nice active baby. Very natural birth. Now that sack you can see all over it. We'll be keeping any wind chill off. And either we can rub it off with a towel or it will come off as the baby rolls around. We don't want to, it keeps the wind off the baby, so it does stop it chilling, although today is a lovely warm day. And there's Poppy just having a look. I'm surprised the rest of the herd haven't been over to investigate. Babies usually take at least half an hour, maybe longer, to get to their feet. This is a nice active girl, or boy, I don't know which. Do we want to have a look? Let's go and have a look. As I say, Poppy's very used to me. So we have a little girl here, I think. Pretty sure we have a little girl. As I say, it's going to have an X name. So the mum's sniffing it, checking it. Mums recognise their babies by smell. It's a beautiful warm day today, so I don't think I need to rub it dry at this point. I'll obviously be watching it carefully because the newborns struggle to keep their temperature adjusted. Proud mum. I will in a minute be spraying the umbilical cord to make sure it doesn't get infection going through that. And within the next couple of hours, Mum will actually pass the afterbirth, which is the placenta, and the baby will get to its feet and start to feed. As you can see, it's already learning to lift its head. Looking like some bizarre thing from maybe a sci-fi film. As you can see, the baby rolling around is already starting to rub the sack off it. And the mum and the baby are bonding. The rest of the herd still haven't noticed. I can't really believe that. They're all just wandering around, just ignoring it. They're usually very, very alert to something new in the field. Maybe it's because this is one of the last births. So they've seen so many this year that they don't think it's of any interest. It is to me. You can hear mum and baby talking to each other. It's called humming. It's a very calm noise that mum's making. She's not showing any signs of anxiety at all at this stage. In fact, she may just now, she's got a bit more space inside her, be topping up again. Well, before baby does much more rolling around, it's time I sprayed the umbilical cord. So, a perfectly normal delivery, lovely healthy cria, and I'm now going to go and get some iodine to spray the umbilical cord and make sure mum's got a bit of milk. It'll be colostrum, the first milk, and as soon as the baby's worked out how to coordinate those very long legs, I'm sure she'll be on her feet and eating or drinking. Well done, Poppy. Proud mum, Poppy.